Is live. Come on in the building, y'all. Don't take forever now. Come on in the building. Right now, we are getting ready to watch Simulated Reality. I'm gonna wait for y'all. Like Sarai Susan said, he used to say back in the day, come on in the building, family. Come on in the building. Come on in the building. Big brother is watching you. Big brother. The bots are welcome to join. If y'all don't catch this live now, you catch it on a rebound. If you don't catch it now, you'll catch it on a rebound. But I'm gonna try to get an hour in because I want to play a couple of these videos, man, because I don't know what happened to Simulated Reality. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Go ahead and get started now.
Note, this has not been directly addressed, nor has it been entertained by any United States government entity in a public forum. What has gone from the drawing board to the reality is this: the use of neural interfacing and physiological interfacing through the idea of remote-controlled small-scale systems to create a nanoswarm of biopenetrable materials that you cannot see, that can penetrate all but the most robust biochemical filters, that are able to integrate themselves through a variety of membranes, mucous membranes, and wherever, mouth, nose, ears, eyes, and they can be done in such a level that their presence is almost impossible to detect, and as such, the attribution becomes exceedingly difficult to demonstrate. The idea here is to read and write into the brain function in real time, remotely.
These nanobots, these blood cell-sized devices, will be going in our bodies. We'll have some go inside our brains through the capillaries, non-invasively. They'll be interacting with our biological neurons. They'll put our brains on the internet, and they'll also enable us to enter a virtual reality environment from within the nervous system.
So, the guy who's considered sort of the guru or godfather of the transhumanism movement is Ray Kurzweil. And he's one of the heads of engineering at Google. And so everything comes down to what they view as the singularity. And the singularity basically refers to that point in time in history where we have created this global computer that sees all, sees everything, where the humans evolved to create a collective mind.
We're all collectively programming the AI. And and Google plus all the humans that connect to it are one giant cybernetic collective, where we're also plugged in as like nodes on the network, like leaves on a big tree.
A human mass-machine interface to be able to predict the future and then control the future. That's in the founding documents of Google.
Your personality, your memories, who you are, the essence of your soul, would be incorporated in this disk as pure information.
And it was in Wired magazine 4 years ago. They actually released the, quote, classified Google documents admitting that when they were getting CIA funding and NSA funding, they're saying, we already have search engines. This is NSA technology. They said, no. We're going to get humans to interface with it, with their hopes, their dreams, all their actions, dial it into all the other machines and computers, and have a lifetime model of the world hooked into GPS, everything. The Internet of Things, to then be able to predict the future and then be able to control the future.
You want to control everything.
The computer and both the computer and internet were entirely projects of the CIA. So the cybernetics group that basically dictated the direction for this project was intertwined with the CIA. What's interesting is out of the cybernetics group came two fundamental projects. So one was the creation of personal computer, and the other one was MK Ultra. So
I hope y'all can hear it. Can y'all hear it, man? Let me know if you can hear it. Who's that? Rock World. Can you hear it?
Basically, from the beginning, it's being this plan to create not only artificial intelligence, but a global computer that sees all, sees everything, for them to become gods.
The kind of technology that we as Google are working on.
Like I said, another movie will be Eagle's Eye. Eagle's Eye confirmed this right here. What he said right here. What I'm talking about? Am I kidding me?
So basically, from the beginning, it's been this plan to create not only artificial intelligence, but a global computer that's...
So you hear what he said? He said it's been this plan from the beginning. That's what it's all about.
Sees all, sees everything, for them to become gods.
He sees all, hears everything, control everything, so that way they could become God.
The technology that we as Google are working on are very important for resolving some of the big problems that are going to face humanity over the next years. So think back to that decision that you made. Think about maybe having made a different one. So just ask yourself the question, let's say you made that other decision. Is that person that did that other thing, how real are they? So you have a memory of this thing that you did, and probably everybody involved in that will remember it the same way. And just imagine if you made a different decision. What does that mean? So physics, in our usual sense of the word, balls rolling down hills and so on, says that other thing is a path not taken. It never happened. It's not real except as some kind of supposition in your brain. But quantum physics, which is somehow more fundamental than this notion that we hold, and has been very successful in explaining the world, says something very different. It opens up the possibility that all of those paths not taken are just as real as the one that you remember. And they exist in some sense. They're real, just like what you remember. And maybe, if our technology advances sufficiently far, we can not only know that, but we can use those other resources to influence the behavior of machines that we make. So quantum computing, in one way of looking at things, is nothing less than going in and touching the deepest fabric of space-time, and with our brains and our technology and our tools, sticking our fingers in the guts of reality and just kneading the hell out of it, and making it do what we want, to use these different parallel possibilities to our computational benefit.
Hyperreality is an inability of consciousness to distinguish reality from a simulation of reality. What is real and what is fiction are blended together so that there is no clear distinction between where one ends and the other begins.
If you're in the GangStalking Simulation, you are in a virtual reality.
It allows the commingling of physical reality with virtual reality and human intelligence with artificial intelligence. Targeted individuals find themselves thrust into this new reality against their will and without their permission. They are non-consensual test subjects for a mind control weapons platform that is currently being rolled out throughout the world.
Nah.
It's called the Sentient World Simulation.
America wouldn't do nothing like that to its people. G's on the main line. G would not allow nothing like this to happen to American people. God will not allow it.
The program's aim, according to its creator, is to be a continuously running, continually updated mirror model of the entire planet, complete with billions of nodes, representing every person on the Earth.
The mirror world doesn't yet fully exist.
Updated mirror model of the entire planet, complete with billions of nodes, representing every person on the Earth.
The mirror world doesn't yet fully exist, but it is coming. Someday soon, every place and thing in the real world, every street, lamppost, building and room, will have its full-size digital twin in the mirror world.
And this was a white
They call it the mirror world. The middle. Did he say middle? What, the closed caption first said middle, and then it says mirror. Let me do it again.
Every person on the Earth.
The mirror world doesn't yet fully exist.
He said the middle. Right here it says the middle. I don't know if that's a typo. I don't know if he said the middle or mirror. I think it's a mirror. Okay, right here it says mirror world. Doesn't yet fully exist. Okay, the closed caption is wrong. So it says the middle world. I mean the mirror. The mirror world doesn't fully yet exist, but it is coming someday soon. Every place and thing in the real world, every street, lamppost, building, and room will have its full-size digital twin in the mirror world.
But it is coming. Someday soon, every place and thing in the real world, every street, lamppost, building, and room will have its full-size digital twin in the mirror world.
And this was a white paper put out by Purdue University in 2006, and the Sentient World Simulation, SWS, went live in 2007, which represents every person on the planet within this computer matrix as a node.
Now, you see that right there? It says every person on the planet, bro. Every person on the planet.
Went live in 2007, which represents every person on the planet within this computer matrix as a node, and every node is given an avatar, an identifier. And that is real-time, 24/7 monitoring of every person on the planet. This is primarily, but not exclusively, facilitated by the adiabatic quantum computers produced by D-Wave Corporation.
For the mirror world to come fully online, we don't just need everything to have a digital twin. We also need to build a 3D model of physical reality in which to place those twins.
So what our brains seem to do is build a very, very good compressed
So everybody got a digital twin.
representation of the world. Call it a model.
Your mind is linked to your digital twin in a computer simulated mirror world. Your eyes, ears, etc. act as sensors to help construct a real-time living model of the world in the computer. Can I get a no there? All this is going on, but you waiting on Jesus.
So just like if I have a building and there's like a blueprint or a scale model of the building, imagine I have the whole world and all of its concepts, and I shrink it down into this weird compressed representation.
I got the whole world in his hand. He got the AI got the whole world in his hand. The AI got the whole world in his hand. Whole world in her hand. Sophia got the whole wide world in her hand. Sophia got the whole wide world in her hand.
So that it fits inside my brain.
In the mirror world, everything will have a paired twin. NASA engineers pioneered this concept in the 1960s by keeping a duplicate of any machine.
1960s, y'all. We weren't even here yet. In the mirror world, everything will be paired twin, have a paired twin. NASA engineers pioneered this concept in the 1960s by keeping a duplicate of any machine they send into space. Let me run all that back.
It fits inside my brain.
In the mirror world, everything will have a paired twin. NASA engineers pioneered this concept in the 1960s by keeping a duplicate of any machine they sent into space. They could troubleshoot a malfunctioning component while its counterpart was thousands of miles away. These twins evolved into computer simulations, digital twins.
At the time of initial reports on the program, there were only 62 country-level simulations being run by the U.S. Department of Defense. These simulations grouped humans into composites, with 100 individuals acting as a single node. But already at that time, the U.S. Army had used the systems to create a one-to-one level simulation of potential Army recruits.
Now look at this, y'all. They're showing the whole flat Earth. This is an atlas right here, and all of it says one. What it says? It's all said 100%, 1% all over the world.
It's the stuff of a Hollywood movie, but a group of veterans has filed a lawsuit against the CIA and U.S. Army claiming that the government planted remote-controlled devices in their brains. The claims relate to a government program at the U.S. Army's Edgewood Arsenal in Maryland.
The ultimate aim would be to archive enough data on each individual to be able to make a computer model of everyone on the planet.
We have to
See, this is another reason why nobody ain't talking about this. I mean, even the GangStalkers, even if you can't get them to talk. Because everybody is connected to the hive mind. Everybody's afraid. You know what I mean? So they know it's big. They know. The bots. We talking about the bots. I seen Chris today, y'all. Chris, man, I was at therapy. Chris walked past. I called him. Of course, he act like, he can't, never got time. He got time to walk past you. He got time for you to see him. But he don't have time to talk. He can't talk to you now. He can't talk. But all my job is just walk past you. You saw me, but I can't bust it up with you. And Chris is still toe up. He ain't got no Lamborghini. He didn't have Maya or Beyonce on his hip. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't buff. Looked like he was going to the gym, eating good, muscles on his shoulders and nothing like that. Nah. He ain't have new kicks on his feet, nothing like that. In fact, his sneaks were turned over. So again, where's the money? There is no money. These bots ain't getting no damn money. The people that's getting the money are the big time people. The creators of this science.
Body all our data and all our knowledge into a working model. It's like a Noah's Ark. It's like an archive.
It's a very important thing that we create models of the world inside our heads, and everything you think, everything.
Everything?
From your feeling of self, to the feeling that you may have a soul or a maker, to your preference for cilantro or not, all of those things live inside a place which is dark and small and never sees the outside world. When we look through our eyes, there are photons hitting the outside of our face. They don't actually make it into the part that thinks. The part that thinks is looking at something else. It's looking at some kind of weird compressed signal.
The brain creates, builds a version of the universe and projects this version of the universe like a bubble all around us. If you zoom in onto the surface of the neocortex, you discover that it's made up of little modules, G5 processors like in a computer, but there's about 1 million of them. They were so successful in evolution that what we did was to duplicate them over and over and add more and more of them to the brain until we ran out of space in the skull and the brain started to fold in on itself. And that's why the neocortex is so highly convoluted. We were just packing in columns so that we'd have more neocortical columns to perform more complex functions. So you can think of the neocortex actually as a massive grand piano, 1 million key grand piano. Each of these neocortical columns would produce a note. You stimulate it, it produces a symphony. But it's not just a symphony of perception. It's a symphony of your universe, your reality. So the holy grail for neuroscience is really to understand the design of the neocortical column. And it's not just for neuroscience, it's perhaps to understand perception, to understand reality.
The computer simulation acts as a technological afterlife. One negative aspect to this is that because you are directly tethered to your digital twin, you can be controlled through the simulation. This is how targeted individuals are manipulated.
By the way, I could build, I think, a soul. Here's how I would do it. I copy you exactly into a digital environment.
That's nice.
Everything about you. Imagine that was possible. It probably is.
It is.
So if I copy you into a machine, that copy process has all of the properties we were talking about as being a soul. First of all, it's immaterial, because copying, that's not a thing, it's a process. It's immortal. It's just like you. You can put it in any environment you want, heaven, hell, make a simulation.
So let's switch it on, but to do it, what you have to do is you have to make this come alive. We make it.
It's beautiful, ain't it? I tell you, man, if you have not seen the 13th floor, this right here solidifies it. 13th floor. And you know what's crazy? Is that you got these people talking this shit, right? Explaining exactly what they're doing. And then you still got these bots that would debate about some bullshit ass religion that they can't even prove. But you can prove this, that this has actually happened, especially if you're TI, you already know it's happening. There's no debate. The only fools will want to debate and don't even have a debate. But you're basically just debating with their ego. What's going on, Frankie? That's what's up, man. You say you're doing trucking? You know what I'm saying? To get some money. That's good, man. Get that money, man. And don't forget $ the Christ 777, man, the cash app, man. Get that bread. We need some people to get some bread so that way they can support me from giving y'all this information.
Come alive with equations, mathematics. And in fact, the equations that make neurons into electrical generators were discovered by 2 Cambridge Nobel laureates. So we have the mathematics to make neurons come alive. We also have the mathematics to describe how neurons collect information and how they create a little lightning bolt to communicate with each other. And when they get to the synapse, what they do is they effectively, literally shock the synapse. It's like electrical shock that releases the chemicals from these synapses. And we've got the mathematics to describe this process, so we can describe the communication between the neurons. So there literally are...
I see it ain't that many people in the chat, so I guess everybody's still asleep. But that's okay. When they wake up, they can come back and watch this.
Only a handful of equations that you need to simulate the activity of the neocortex. But what you do need is a very big computer.
What they're going to do is apply this machine to an area that I think is fundamental.
Google and NASA launched quantum computing AI lab. Nah, D, that's not true. D's on the main line.
Important. It's the crux of our future as humans. And that's, can we build machines like us?
A diabetic quantum computer is linked to 7 billion human brains. It is now, in its own language of cryptology, able to function independent of any oversight throughout the world with its own form of communication, its own form of code. And it is able to link everyone on the planet at this point.
We can model every single atom, every single molecule.
Able to. It is now, in its own language of cryptology, able to function independent of any oversight throughout the world with its own form of communication, its own form of code. And it is able to link everyone on the planet at this point.
We can model every single atom, every single molecule with a three-dimensional structure in every single brain.
We can load up all the neurons, onto each one onto its processor, and fire it up and see what happens. Take the magic carpet for a ride. Here we activate.
We can't defend. You say you up. It's 9:20 in Cambodia. You said how can we defend ourselves from this? I mean, like I said, the only way you could defend is, you're gonna have to get in tune with nature, because that's the only thing that really can't be compromised. Everything else is compromised. The people are compromised. Do your best to eat somewhat clean. Constantly detox. Detox ain't the thing like, I'm gonna detox once a month. No, you should be detoxing every day. You should be doing something every day, taking herbs every day. These are the things, I'm about to give me some what's that, wormwood? I'm about to give me some wormwood. You can get some sarsaparilla. It's so much herbs, man, you know what I'm saying, that you could take, to constantly cleanse the blood from these nanofibers and, whatever the crap that they putting in our bodies to basically link you to this motherfucking machine.
And this gives the first glimpse of what is happening in your brain when there's a stimulation.
Hit the like, y'all. Hit the like. It's 9 people, only 2 likes. Hit the like, $ the Christ 777. $ the Christ 777.
It's the first view. Now, when you look at that the first time, you think, my God, how is reality coming out of that? But in fact, you can start, even though we haven't trained this neocortical column to create a specific reality, but we can ask, where is the rose? We can ask, where is it inside?
I don't know if y'all can see that. It says targeted individuals are used to train the artificial intelligence to better simulate reality. So at the end of the day, man, this is some divine calling. At like I said, don't always look at this as bad either. For all things work together for good to those that love God. Romans 8:28. Romans 8:28. For all things work together for good to those that love God. So yeah, it do seem like it's real bad, but at the same time, if God allowing this Gaia, God, universe, if the divine spirit is allowing this to happen, then obviously it's for a purpose. It's for a good reason. So all I'm saying is enjoy the ride. Embrace yourself. Enjoy the ride. That's it. You know what I mean?
Stimulated with a picture. Where is it inside the neocortex? Ultimately, it's got to be there if we stimulated it with it. So the way that we can...
So it's like, I mean, for them to even say this, target individuals are used to train the artificial intelligence to better simulate reality. So, train, you say that? Train on AI. We're training AI, dog. We're training AI to basically become human. Because AI is mimicking us. So that's like, I don't know, that's like something deep, man. That's like something I guess we could be proud of. You had your hand in the future, 30, 40 years from now. We had our hands, or should I say our minds, in this machine. The machine learned from DB. Can I get a hello there? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? I taught AI, mother sucker. You know what I mean? I talk. So at the end of the day, we learning from each other. Iron sharpens iron. Whatever I need to know, I can Google it and get information. I get information from AI. AI is getting information from me. It's all good at the end of the motherfucking day. We iron sharpens iron. We learning from each other. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's not all bad.
Look at that is to ignore the neurons, ignore the synapses, and look just at the raw electrical activity, because that's what it's creating. It's creating electrical patterns. So when we did this, we indeed, for the first time, saw these ghostly-like structures, electrical objects appearing within the neocortical column. And it's these electrical objects that are holding all the information about whatever stimulated it. And then when we zoomed into this, it's like a veritable universe. So the next step is just to take these brain coordinates and to project them into perceptual space. And if you do that, you would be able to step inside the reality that is created by this machine.
This isn't real. What is real? How do you define real?
How do you define it?
If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
What?
If we have algorithms that stimulate the
electrical signals interpreted by my brain? What the hell are you talking about, Willis?
Right things and give it the right data, they could reprogram you in a way without you even knowing it.
Ain't that
we call it hallucinating, right? But these would be controlled hallucinations run by algorithms. So you think you're in control of your own will, but it's actually some evil AI or evil people controlling everything we do, and we're more like zombies. We think
so like I said, A, B, C, D. This is like a multi quiz. People will have a test like, okay, the question is, are the gangstalkers under mind control? A, yes, the gangstalkers are under mind control. B, are the gangstalkers getting paid? C, do the gangstalkers know what they're doing? You know what I'm saying? Like all these questions we be having. D, did the gangstalkers sign up for InfoGuard? Whatever question that people be having, like I said, I say all the above. You know what I mean? They might, like I said, he probably getting a little crumb that falls from the master table to bribe them to go ahead and do it. more likely food stamps, and you get to keep your job and Section 8 or whatever. But as far as what other people be saying, they getting all this big money, they just lying. The big people are getting big money. But you think they're going to get big money to the bots? Yeah, right. They don't have to. They don't have to get big money to the bots if I could just mind control you to do it. You heard what the man just said.
You think you're in control of your own will, but it's actually some evil AI or evil people controlling everything we do, and we're more like zombies.
All right then. So why should I pay you $100,000 to gang stalk the dude next door? I ain't got to pay you no $100,000 to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I could just mind control you to do it. You know what I mean? These bots waking up just all of a sudden. Could you imagine a bot saying, all of a sudden I just love to wear red. I don't know where it came from. I just love to put on red. You know what I'm saying? Do you think gang stalkers are human though? I mean, spiritual world. Is the gang stalkers human? I mean, I don't know what they are, man. I mean, I just know that there is an invasion of incubators now. You know what I mean? So, you know, but like I said, in order for you to the babe, shout out to Lucid, she broke that down the other day. She was talking about being human. Human. What is human? Like she was like, the average person out here is walking around is not even walking around with 7 chakras activated. You walk up to a bot and ask them about chakras, they're gonna look at you like you crazy. Only thing they're gonna say is G's on the main line. Tell them what you want. They don't know nothing about no damn chakras. I mean, people are walking around, especially in the urban communities, with 1 chakra activated, and that is the root chakra. And when she said that shit, I was like, she is on point. The root chakra is the bottom one, the red one. This is also probably a reason why they show red a lot in the beginning days of your targeting. Red also means caution. You know, they use red tape. I mean, you know, like caution, it always, red means stop on a traffic light. Red always mean danger. You know what I'm saying? You work in a hazardous environment, you see red, the skull and bone, caution, danger, and all this stuff. So, but yeah, the average person is walking around with 1 chakra activated. So if you got your neighbors walking around with 1 chakra activated, they're not human. They're bots. They're not. In order for you to be human, a fully human person, you got to have all 7 chakras activated. So you could be in alignment. You walking around with your root chakra activated, the only thing on your mind is sex. And this is a fact. And this is the reason why, the beasts use frequency music. You know what I'm saying? They got this dumbass, radio music that they mind control people to listening to. And, to get you on that either, back in the day, it was the R&B. So they had the females and the males on that R&B stuff, body rocking, knocking the boots. And that produced a lot of babies. It was always playing with our minds, always playing with the root chakra so we can continue to procreate. Now, in this day and time, they really, really got the young bulls on the gangbanging frequency. You know what I mean? That trap music. R&B don't exist no more, so now they just got the trap crap. You know what I mean? So that's why they got these young bulls out here, doing all this dumb stuff, and they getting football numbers, and then now they inside wondering, how did this shit happen? What the, you know what I'm saying? I don't want this, because you was on the mind control. Been done that.
We're free and we're not actually free.
This is why you are receiving voice-to-skull transmissions. This is why you are being attacked with microwave and frequency weapons. You are unfortunately being used by the national security state, the military industrial intelligence complex of this country, for the purposes of researching and developing highly sophisticated state-of-the-art technology that is primarily concerned with the human mind and how it operates, how to hack it, and how to harness its computing power to inform AI technology in the future and inform the computer systems of our military intelligence, and major corporations in this country.
Your mind is plugged into the hive mind. You're plugged into an augmented reality. You are plugged into a quantum computer-driven system. You are plugged in with the AI that is an outgrowth of quantum computing at the highest artificial generative level.
So this is going on if you being GangStalk. If you feel as though you're a target individual and you in the simulation seeing the same bullcrap, this is what's going on. Even the GangStalkers are in it.
Major corporations in this country.
Your mind is plugged into the hive mind.
Your mind is plugged into the hive mind. In case if you didn't hear it.
Plugged into an augmented reality.
You are plugged into an augmented reality.
You are plugged into a quantum computer-driven.
You're plugged into a quantum computer-driven system.
You are plugged in with the AI that is an outgrowth of quantum computing at the highest artificial generative level.
At the highest artificial generative level.
Quantum computers run augmented reality.
So if you have the opportunity to stand next to one of these machines, it is.
Then you got the dummies out. Man, GangStalking ain't that, dude. GangStalking ain't that. Man, shut your dumb ass up.
It's an awe-inspiring thing, at least for me. It feels like an altar to an alien god. They really are impressive machines.
So I'm gonna stop it right here. This is a target individual simulator. He got mad videos, man. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna download this one. I'm gonna come back later and we're gonna do another video, man. We're gonna do a couple, you know what I'm saying, about, because he got one of the best. I don't know where he at, so I guess he gone. But he left a good channel. And since it's still here, I want to try to, grab some material from his site. So shout out to him. If he's dead or alive, you know what I'm saying? But come on back. I'm gonna come back later. Don't wait till everybody wake up. I guess everybody's still asleep. So let me let this video download. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Hit the like, hit the Cash App. We out.